Well, all right, it's Friday, November 10th, 6:50 in the morning. Draw some channels and see what's going on here. I'm just going to draw everything I see. I have something like this. All right, so I think that's covering it for now, what I see. And we'll go from there. I got limited time today. I'm only going to be trading until about 10 or so. And then that'll be the end. So I'm going to try to be as aggressive as I can with any good setups. First entry long, second entry long. That just failed. Let's see if we hold up here. If this is a real channel or not. It looks like it would be, but let's see if it gets confirmed here. Just waiting here to see what happens. There was a first entry long, second entry long that failed on the same candle. There was a trend break up, new high, lower high. This looks possibly rangy. All right, I'm going to pause until I see a setup. Actually, I just noticed there's news coming up here in 7 minutes. So I'll wait for that to hit and then I'll go from there. All right, my wide channel broke without it looking like it was confirmed. So now I'm trying a spike in channel kind of idea. The range broke too. And the news is about to hit in a minute and a half, so I'll see what happens and then go from there. All right, I'm watching this.
Order submitted.
Looks like my spike and channel is working. Might have an OJ here. I know it's news, but context is good. not what I was expecting.
Order canceled.
It's weird because it confirmed it, but then it didn't stay in. All right, so not really sure what we've got at the moment. Let me draw this just to see. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm just going to pause and see what happens next. All right. Looks like a failed breakout here might lead to
Order submitted.
an OJ to retest the lows. See how much room I have here. Looking for a second tick. Actually, there's something I'm not supposed to like about this. Context is good. I should have taken it. It didn't fit my rule for the OJ, exactly. I'm pretty sure it's going to work. There's one thing about
Order
it that didn't fit my
canceled.
rule, so I didn't jump in. Context-wise, it makes a lot of sense to retest these lows. It's actually a rule I put in place that I'm not 100% sure about, but it seems to be a good rule. But now that I'm working with the context of drawing channels and ranges, it may be that I just saw these lose when this happens, when the context wasn't there. But we'll see. One tick below this is 76.25. I mean, the failed breakout would have been Pat's trade. So OJ after a failed breakout. But again, not much room to the support. But this is the key area for me that I would expect it to reach at least this low. There it goes. There it is. That's 8 ticks right there. So it would have worked. So I'm going to keep that in mind because I might have one extra rule on the OJ that's not necessary now that I have context working on my side. All right, that would have been a good trade, clearly. Had the right idea. All right, I'm going to stop here, or pause here.
Order submitted.
Possible LO. If we get a bearish bar, 2 ticks under that. No.
Order canceled.
Enough. We do also have, this was a trend with a break in new low now, so this one is questionable. The bigger one. Now we have first entry long. This would be a second entry long. too far from the EMA to consider it for me. I'd like it better if it was against the EMA. We have some kind of measured move. Measured move to reach. If we didn't already have a trend break new low, I might have liked this more. All right, I'll pause and wait for something better. Yeah, so when it comes to Pat's entries, because of my difficulties with them that made me look for a new strategy in the first place recently, I'll only take a Pat strategy setup if it's like perfect, or I think it's perfect at the time, and this one definitely wasn't. So, and you see it definitely lost. So this down channel is kind of questionable, but I mean, I see it as 1, 2, 3 touches here, and even a 4th touch, 5th touch. So I can't ignore that. So I would expect a new low here. But if you took the failed second entry long, you would have gotten a loss. So just waiting, being patient, not getting a lot of trades this week or last week, but not a lot of trades is better than 2 weeks ago when I had 5 losses in 1 week. So I'm just being patient, trading the way I know how. And when I kind of veer off course, that's when I usually get more losses. So yeah, market's just been, I think, a bit more difficult lately, it seems like, at least for me. All right, let's see what else happens here. All right, and so now we do have the new low off of this down channel. So as far as I can tell, all of the down channels I currently have are played out. Didn't quite get to the measured move, but good enough to consider that the measured move. And not really sure what's happening. I mean, it's entirely possible we have some kind of range at play. I don't know if I like that color. Go back to default. Change the color of this one. All right, so this is kind of making sense. There's some stacking up around the midline of a bigger range for the day. You got 2 touches at the top, well, 3 touches at the top. So this is kind of making more sense overall for me. And so you would expect to get all the way down to the bottom here if it's, you know, quote unquote healthy range eventually. So let's see what happens here. Okay, not too sure what's going on here. Maybe we're going to get a bullish imbalance and not make it back down here. Just trying to watch for what this might turn into. Seems like we're going to get a retest of the high. first entry short right now. There's really just no setups. I mean, with Pats, I really don't see any setups. I had the one OJ that was a subjective white OJ for me at the moment with my current rules, even though contextually it was good for a retest of the low and more. That's the only trade I've seen. I guess I could put a white arrow just to remind myself where that was. Anyway, so yeah, not too sure where we're going from here. Just waiting. I'm just looking at this first entry, second entry.
Order submitted.
Expecting the new high here, 78. Just enough for 4 ticks. Considering it. Seems very stacked up. I don't like how this candle closed right at that like resistance right there. I feel like this is one of those MAC trades that would trap me. That's right. So it definitely would have worked for 4. Yeah, would have worked exactly for 4 right now.
Order canceled.
And more. Actually, I didn't even think to try the measured leg. So that would give you a good target to go for 8. Higher low, but now you're already at the high. The second entry long for me is better trade, and the higher low is far from the EMA. Okay. So I had the right idea. So in these cases, even when I don't take the trade, I mean, just to see that I'm thinking the right way, I think will help me down the road to take these kinds of trades. But I would have only gone for 4 ticks because I was only going for the new high here. So I would have potentially been frustrated. I mean, I probably should have taken the higher low. I don't know. It's far from the EMA. Even this, the second entry long wasn't even touching the EMA. But I did have the key entry point. So, but again, I mean, my confidence with Mac's price action trading system is not extremely high as far as taking the entries. So there'll be lots of times where I skip those. I definitely need to trust my instincts though, because I was saying when we made this move that seemed like there was a bullish imbalance. And look at this. So these trades were good trades. They remind me of the trades I skipped yesterday as well. So 2 days in a row, I had the right read on the Max Pats trades. Haven't seen anything from my Nlts strategy. But yeah, just need to build up confidence again to take some of these eventually. I'm just saying possible second entry long.
Order submitted.
Break of the big trend up. EMA. Expect a new high. Considering it. It's another trade. It's like I hate to see, I don't know, kind of a pivot point right before it.
Order submitted.
Small risk. I'll take it. Expecting the new high. Oh, don't like that. Let's see what happens. At least it's a small risk.
Order filled.
All right. Honestly, I think I was just so tired of myself of not taking these trades that I took that. And I lost. What did I lose? $1.75 points. This is definitely a situation where I just, I skipped these, they worked, and running out of time in the day, didn't take a trade yesterday, and again, I think it's just, that's a psychology thing. I have to laugh because, I don't like this trade nearly as much as I like these two trades, but I took this one and I didn't take these. So that's my struggle. Psychology for sure. Let me update my stats. All right. So, took that loss, less than 2 points. So the reality is, one trade, I get it back. This is the danger of me drawing these channels and getting sucked into wanting to take Pat's trades. And it's purely, totally psychology because I didn't take these, had it right. Either one of these would have been winners. Both of them could have been winners back to back. And so because I didn't take these and they worked, I see a break and I see one leg, two legs. So I think, but really if I were to take the time to measure it, well, it's not so far off, but also it's just like a little far from the EMA. It's like almost touching, but not quite maybe. I don't know, but this was just simply, I took this trade because of this. And this isn't even the strategy I wanted to trade on my YouTube channel, but not seeing any of my setups today. Didn't see any setups yesterday. And so I took that trade and got a loss. It's fine. The reality is this number 3 account is just as close to trailing as it was before my last win. And this one has a lot of trailing left, and then just, not going anywhere on my evals lately. You know, so I'm just not feeling myself lately, you know, in terms of trading, just no confidence, not feeling aggressive to take setups in better spots, you know. Also, small signal bar sucked me in. It is the one thing that's alluring about the Pat strategy after trading my strategy is my stops are usually way bigger. So to like, you know, but the reality is, you know, this was a 9 tick bar and this was a 10 tick bar. So, you know, if I was going to take a Pat's trade, I think those were the ones I should have taken. I don't know. Who knows? Just not feeling it. So updated stats for Pats. I'm 3-2, 60%. Doesn't feel good. And but what can I do? 1-1 on the second entry long, and I don't know. What else do I say? It's like, do I just not take Pat's entries? Do I? I mean, if I take them all, I'm 2-1. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. This channel is really supposed to be me trading the Nlts strategy. But I figure, you know, I do see the trades. I mean, but this, it's funny, you know, these felt more risky than this to me. I don't know why. I don't know why that is, but the ones that work always feel more risky. The ones that don't work always feel less risky. And those are the ones I lose. And these are the ones I don't take. So I'm not going to let it get to me too much. It's just the reality of where I'm at in my trading journey. You know, this has been like indicative of my entire journey for 3 years before I started on YouTube, where I start off really good. I go on these great streaks on YouTube right here. You could go back and look. First 5 weeks, I was doing great, super minimal losses. My accounts were building up. I was nearly out of payout a couple times, and then just hit a brick wall, have a terrible week. You lose a bunch of accounts, almost blew up my PAs, and then I come back very timid and kind of grind back. I do, you know, okay, but I'm not taking a lot of trades. I'm not very aggressive. And then when I start trying to, you know, will myself to be more aggressive and take a trade, you know, I run into a loss, and then it's just like this, you know, what do I want to say? It's just this theme that runs over and over again, just this continuous cycle. If I take a break, I usually come back really strong, and then it happens all over again. And I had these goals for the end of the year, before the end of the year, and I'm just not feeling like I'm getting there. I'm just, you know, feeling that frustration and uncertainty and doubt. And that this is real trading. So that's the way it is. I'm putting it all out there. And, yeah, this is the sort of thing why I wanted to give up on Pat's strategy. But I do see the setups, and I do see the context, and you know, I also do know that when you have a breakout of a possible range, you know, you're likely to come back and test it, which is where we're at now. We're coming back to test that. So, you know, I read things right, but I just, you know, I doubt myself. Skip trades where I could have had winners already, and then take something like this and then get a loss, and then I get into protective mode, not wanting a second loss, and then I'll probably end my day red because running out of time and not confident, and probably will skip more good trades like this potentially. And so, you know, it's just this thing that's really hard to overcome. All right, I've said enough for now. Get over it, get over myself, and see if I can get something else before the end of the day. Okay, I see
Order
a potential
submitted.
OJ right here. retest the highs. No,
Order canceled.
didn't set up. I'm also thinking I do have this down channel, so you would expect to retest the lows too. So, but didn't qualify here, so no trade for me. I'm just looking at this now that I'm not as frustrated, and I think I missed drawing that. Could have kept me out of the trade. Forget the yellow if this wasn't here. I think if I had drawn that, that could have kept me out of the trade. I was just so focused on the retest of the high and so focused on the fact that I was a little bit frustrated with myself for not taking either one of these, that I just saw second entry long, trend break, expect new high, and just wanted to take it, honestly. But here, this makes sense because now you had a trend down with an overshoot. First entry short, second entry short.
Order submitted.
Thing here is it's not a lot of room to take the failure. But I'm sure it'll work. This is where it's going to make the new high. It's my guess. 91.50. 93.50. Nine tick risk. It's very sideways here though. But it makes sense that this is where it's going to make the new high. There it goes. Yeah, another example of how I don't take the trade when it works. I mean, I was just sorting that out of my head, talking it through right
Order
there,
canceled.
live. So, it's kind of putting it together when it had already triggered. But yeah, look at that. It's so frustrating. I'm just frustrated with myself because it's all mental at this point. It really isn't the strategy. It's really just me. And it's like, it's looking for a trade here for my strategy in LTS. There was like one thing that I didn't like about it, didn't take it, works. Here, second entry long, it's actually a failed second entry short. I wasn't even thinking about that part of it, but it made sense to be testing a new high. I already talked about there is a bullish imbalance. I didn't take it. There's a higher low, but now I was looking at this line and saying, okay, well, there's resistance there. Even though everything in me was saying, well, it's probably going up, didn't take it. So what do? I take this. I take this because I'm thinking about these, and it was really not even about this setup anymore. It was really just about these setups. And so I take that, and that's where I get a loss. I mean, in the big scheme of things, it's not a big deal. It's a small loss. One win erases it. But again, it's just the mental stuff. And then this, it's like I'm putting this together in real time. I have a chance to get in here, and I just don't. And you think of every reason why not. Okay, so you have this, right? And you have this, and you have this. So 3 levels of resistance that I'm thinking about in my head as I know that I'm expecting the new high and the measured move. And it keeps me out of another trade. And also just frankly, the fear of losing a second trade before the weekend. Got an hour left, and just the fear of losses getting worse or blowing an account. This is all the real stuff that goes on, especially trading a strategy like this. I mean, first of all, Pat's strategy is subjective. So, it's like you can watch Mac all day, say, oh, this is a great trade, but, you take a trade and you lose and you form doubts. And I didn't draw this down channel, so I had this wrong, you know, and that's the way it goes. So I'm gonna have to just rebuild my confidence and get more aggressive and just take trades and have a more fuck it, don't give a shit attitude, maybe. Which is where in the past I get into even more trouble and just pile on losses because I'm having kind of negative feelings and just go on tilt. So I think the weekend can't come soon enough. I'm going to stick around for the next 40 minutes or so and just see if I can get another good trade. But that's where I'm at right now. For people that love to watch people on YouTube lose, here I am. And again, I never claimed to be a great trader. I'm just trying to figure it out. So that's where I'm at right now. All right, so we got to the measured move. All right, we're staying in this channel. Have a possible LO.
Order submitted.
If this bar finishes bullish and gets 2 ticks above it, it would have to be after a first entry, second entry short failure inside the channel. I'll keep a tight stop. Have a bigger measured move still. A lot of momentum right here. Oh, doesn't qualify. Should have taken it anywhere. That's going to be too high. This is an LO bar, but man, it's like way high now. I wouldn't even expect it to get triggered. Well, I thought this was going to be the LO bar, but it wasn't. But if I took a trade above that, I would have got it. But it's just not even a trade on for my setup.
Order canceled.
All right. It's going to be a frustrating end to my week here. Going to be stopping soon. I actually just found a larger channel. That I hadn't noticed. So, had the right idea. Stick with long, just wrong timing, wrong trade. Really, I should know better than take that trade. It's just my own fault. It's my own mentals not being in the right spot, like I already talked about. So, luckily, it's the weekend. Give me time to get over it. Small loss in the big scheme. It's okay. I'll figure it out. All right, let's see what else. Got a few minutes left. All right, and now we got this other bigger measured move to the tick before some reaction, it looks like here. I've still got the measured move of the range here. And yeah, seeing the market well overall, except for this. All right, so I have to stop right now. So this is going to be the end of my day. Yeah, disappointed, frustrated, and I guess I'll say it all in the wrap-up video. I gotta get that done right away. So that's it for today, and I'll be back next week, hopefully in a better frame of mind and with better discipline and with more of an aggressive nature to take the trades when I see them, and to not put myself in the position of skipping things. And then, this happens to me all the time where I skip enough times, I lose my my discipline and my patience, and I just take something that I shouldn't take. So that's it for now, and thanks for watching.